No matter what a narcissist does, they feel as if they are never wrong. In this video, I want to talk about why they feel as if they can never do any wrong. Number 1, entitlement. One of the key signs of narcissism is a sense of entitlement. Narcissists feel as if they are allowed to do whatever they want and they should have whatever they want because they are, in fact, just them. They're special, they're unique, they're on a different level than anybody else. Some narcissists will tell you how misunderstood they are. Nobody gets them. They're on a different plane of thinking. They're on some kind of different level that nobody else can reach. Therefore, because of who they are, or maybe even because they know somebody or they're related to somebody, something like that, by proxy, they're entitled to any and everything. Number 2, excuses. Narcissists have excuses for everything. There's either an excuse or a justification for anything that possibly goes wrong that might fall backwards onto them. There always is and there always will be. Just wait for it and it will happen. Number 3, circumstances. There is always some kind of issue that allows the narcissist to do whatever the hell it is that they want to do. This is where a lot of victim mentality comes into play. Well, I'm allowed to steal. I got robbed once, or this happened to me, so I'm allowed to do this. I'm allowed to cheat because, well, I don't feel like you care about me. While these are also excuses, these have a strong element that the narcissist is downtrodden, there's some kind of victim, and that the victimhood is why these behaviors have been done. So it's totally okay. Because they have been victimized at some point, they are now allowed, that gives them carte blanche, that gives them that allowance there to do as they please. By now, you're realizing that a lot of these ploys are kind of all meshing together, and the narcissist will use all of these all mixed together and in tandem with everything else. Number 4, you and everybody else. Since obviously the narcissist is never wrong, who's it gotta be? Well, it's you. You're going to be blamed for all kinds of shit. Blame shifting is huge for a narcissist to always dodge blame. Like the rest, this one can also be tossed in and twisted around too. They'll throw in some blame, some victim mentality. Oh, well, you see, what had happened was, and things like that. If you would like to talk one-on-one about a narcissistic relationship that you're in right now, or maybe you are still working on getting over a relationship like that, you can email BookAChatWithJess@gmail.com to set up private chats and coaching with me if you feel you need it. Number 5, fantasy. Narcissists are fairly good at convincing themselves that they are always the one who is wronged, never the one who actually did wrong. A lot of this is done in their mind. The fantasy world they live in has to be very carefully cultivated here. Everything that happens to a narcissist goes through, I don't really know what you call it, some kind of bullshit filter apparently, and they have to make it right in their mind, in their head, to fit into the narrative of their little fantasy world. Let's say, for example, you leave them, you end the relationship, you walked away, you go no contact. Obviously, this is going to bother a narcissist. It causes a narc injury. They feel dumped. They feel rejected. They could potentially feel as if you've abandoned them. In their mind, they now have to scramble to make it okay in their brain. They can't handle that narc injury, that ego bruise. It's too devastating. They don't want to believe that somebody could be tired of their shit and walk away. So now they decide, this is where that filter comes in, where they have to make it okay. They decide they didn't want you anyway. They were going to dump you. They just hadn't gotten around to it, like cleaning out the garage, and you did them a favor. You did the dirty work. They were cheating, so they wanted somebody else anyway, something like that. They'll say, you were no good. Again, you totally did me a favor. You suck. I'm over you, and I can do better than you anyway. It's all kind of mashed around in their mind to where they have the basic idea still. The relationship is over, but now you see how it's going to work for them, how it's going in their mind. They run that subsequent smear campaign on you, tell everybody how much you suck, and they spread their lies and have other people believe them. Now other people are believing those falsehoods, and it only helps that false reality seem even more true to the narcissist, because now everybody knows their side. If you are cheated on, for example, Again, it goes through that bullshit filter, whatever you want to call it. Again, they have the basic knowledge of everything. They cheated. And even if they deny things like they do, justification, excuses, like a narcissist does, it's still going to go through that filter to make everything okay. It'll be something like, well, yeah, I cheated, but I had to. I mean, they were going to leave me. I had to make sure I had, somebody else. They know I can't be alone. I had to do it. They weren't spending any time with me, and I was lonely. They know I don't like being alone. So really, this is their fault because they should have known better. They did know better, and they didn't do it anyway. So I did what I had to do so that I wasn't left by myself. Maybe now they'll think twice about things, and they won't leave me by myself again. Something along those lines. I find this really fascinating as I keep up my research and theorizing about people who are highly narcissistic. 3 years ago, my thought process was, wow, they really spend a lot of time, effort, and energy convincing us that this false sense of self they have is really who they are. They really make us think that they're this amazing person. And so here I was thinking all of this song and dance and all this garbage was so that we would buy into their garbage. I mean, we do. But now looking back on all my work and all my ideas, I see that this is not just done for us. They need to believe all this garbage they spew on the daily. They need to think that they're a good person. They really need to make all of this right in their mind. They really have to bury themselves in this fantastical world. In true narcissistic fashion, I dare say, all of this stuff is done more so for them, so that they feel comfortable. Narcs don't want to feel shit, and they don't want to feel the same things that nobody else wants to feel. No narcissist, or really any person ever, wants to feel shame, regret, embarrassment, rejection, humiliation, remorse, and so on. But a narcissist goes to extreme lengths to avoid those uncomfortable emotions and situations. I further believe this goes to show that when we do inflict that narcissistic injury, when we give them that ego bruise, that jab, this is why it hurts them so damn bad. We bring them back to reality for a second. They get a good look at what it really is. They get another good look at who they really are. I am positive there are some narcissists that lack any and all self-awareness, but I do not believe that is all of them. No, I'm no doctor. Save your comments. I know I don't have a PhD, but I think that a lot of them, I think that they are slightly self-aware at least. If they weren't, they wouldn't try so hard to live a life that is so far buried in this fake world. If they completely lacked self-awareness, they just wouldn't give a shit. And some of them don't. But it doesn't make sense that none of them have any self-awareness. They know exactly what they do, and they bury themselves and put their heads in the sand and create this little false world that they have to live in. Again, narcissism runs on a spectrum. So maybe those who are 10 out of 10 on that narco scale, maybe those are the ones that do lack that complete sense of self-awareness. But I think a lot of them know exactly how bad they suck, and that's why they live in so much denial, and that's why this fantasy world full of excuses, justifications, blame shifting, and this fantasy world, that's why it all exists, because they are aware of what they do. They are aware of how they're treating other people, and they're aware that they are not nice people, to say the least. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.